It's time for Quick Calls with Mike the Ref on the Edmonton Sports Podcast Network.
All right, folks, we've just wrapped up Riptribution 10 here at the Alberta Avenue Arena with Monster Pro Wrestling. Mike Maloney here with the ultimate crew here of the Wrestling Mind, Brian Hamilton.
The original crew, buddy.
The original crew.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
And, of course, Andre C.
I'm here. I'm back, finally back at MPW, which is the best part.
Yeah, you missed some good shows over the last while, buddy.
But you know what? This is a great show to return to, I thought.
Oh, absolutely. This was 6 matches. I expected a lot out of this card. I got a lot out of this card, and it ended up being a hell of a show.
It was the whole show tonight. Like, every match is a non-disqualification match. Almost every match had a stipulation, some kind of stipulation to it. It's just crazy night tonight.
Absolutely, and for folks, just to let you know, for those that are listening audio here, we are broadcasting on YouTube here, and we got 2 very special announcements here at the end of the show here. So
2 big ones, big, 2 big ones.
But before we get to the exact matches, Brian, your thoughts on the show?
Oh, I thought the show was great. You had 7 great matches, all of them different stipulations. This is a night I look forward to. This is like MPW's WrestleMania to me. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I consider it as well myself here. But let's get on to the matches here. Right off the bat, we had a submission match with Dynamic Dean Richter taking on the Wild Child Tyler James. Now, in talking with the MPW head office, they're actually looking at the possibility of coming up with a somewhat of a division for submission-style wrestling. It's a unique take.
Honestly, these 2 tonight showed great ability in the ring. The submission ability of both these men, as we saw from both, especially from Tyler James, I thought the biggest one in this match for his submission ability.
Well, in the end, this ended up being a 10-minute draw with the fact that neither man could obtain the tap-out victory. Dean Richter was tapping out, but it was approximately the 10-minute and 3-second mark. Before we get to what happened after the match, Brian, your thoughts on the match itself?
Oh, I thought this match was a really great way to start off the show. These guys don't like each other. They know each other really good, and it was just fitting that this ended in a draw with these 2, so hopefully somehow they figure this out. I'd like to see them go at it again some way.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's get into what happened after the match. You have Danger Zone Mitch Clarke come out of nowhere, out of the back.
Former UFC fighter.
You know him better than I do. Go ahead.
I've been, as a lot of fans know, I cover MMA on the network with some quick call shows and things like that, and I've seen Mitch Clarke compete in UFC, and I've seen some fights from other promotions he's worked in, and this guy, a dangerous man. He's at a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's won UFC fights, MMA fights everywhere, and he's a dangerous man, and he's coming to MPW, or he's here in MPW.
He has signed with MPW and will be part of the MPW brand going forward. It is a hell of a coup here for Monster Pro Wrestling. Brian, you want to throw some thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's going to be just great to see this UFC fighter in here, to see what he does with all these wrestlers. He brings a different style than what all these other wrestlers do. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do and the matches that he will have with this roster. It's going to be very interesting. Cannot wait.
But going on from there, we had our tag team title match with a fatal 4-way. You had the champions tag struggle. Sean Martins and Maniac taking on 3 teams: the Birds of Prey, the Cats Meow in James Crowder and Raunchy Rick Jules.
As they were announced, the Stray Cats.
Stray Cats, part of the Cats Meow.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. Here's the Stray Cats.
And then, I'm going to say it right, the Sexy American Superstars.
Yes. I'll have to say our good friend Delmer's favorite tag team of the night had to be.
Folks, if you want to see some dancing, that's what you definitely want to check those 2 out.
They were dancing at each other.
But going on from there, this was one of those Mexican luchador, let's just go nuts kind of shows.
Yeah.
Or a match where everybody was just involved and just going crazy there. In the end, you had Steve Rivers hitting a pedigree from the top rope that ended up sort of more of a styles clash on Kid Cyrus. Ended up getting the 1-2-3 and becoming the brand new Monster Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, like I was in the corner where that was happening, and I was sitting right by that corner, and you see Cyrus go up, and he goes for the Hurricanrana, and he gets caught. And I thought I saw Rivers try to pick him up to go for the powerbomb, but then he just said screw it and jumped off, and Styles clashed him. And man, I would not want to be Styles clashed by a guy that fat.
No.
That's size, not fat. Brian, your thoughts on the match?
Oh, I thought this was a great match. You had 4 really great teams going at it. And this match was all over the place, inside, outside the ring. I didn't know who was going to win, but in the end, we have new tag team champions with the American Sexy Superstars. Just crazy how all these teams are going for the titles here now. It's great competition for everybody.
And thank you, Brian, for identifying who was the one who was helping the Sicilian Assassin with his ring introductions tonight. Anyway, moving on to our next match here for the Provincial Championship. You had the champion, Sydney Steele, taking on challengers Kato, and the reason Andre's here, half the reason, Chris Parrish.
Hashtag strugglelicious.
Folks, between the tag match and this match, oh my God.
Wow.
The caliber of this match was absolutely unbelievable.
You know it, for sure.
In the end, a little bit of skullduggery backfired on Kato, allowing Chris Parrish to get the victory and become the new MPW Provincial Champion.
Hashtag new champion, hashtag strugglelicious. Yeah.
Keep going, Andre. Your thoughts?
Okay. Like, as a lot of people know, I've been struggling since day one. Like, I've been a fan, of all these guys since the beginning, since it was just Parrish and Nike, and then Sean being added. I've missed the last few months where the crowd has seemed to take into these guys, but Chris Parrish showing why I've always believed him and why I truly think he's the best in this company, and he is the new provincial champion. And screw Sydney Steele, we got a new champion.
Hey, be nice to him. Brian, your thoughts?
I thought this was a really great match between all 3 of these guys. Kato and Parrish don't like each other. Parrish and Steele, they've had a thing over in the past with each other, so it just made sense these guys went at it, and in the end, Parrish picked up the pinfall on Kato to become new champion. Great for him. I love to see Parrish do that. And what I liked at the end, though, is Parrish and Steele, they shook hands and hugged each other out for a great match, which was great to see.
And just think, 3 months ago, these guys were going tooth and nail in a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, we had our women's title match. Psycho Sawyer taking on the champion, Sexy Sam. Once again, the attempted chicanery and skullduggery does not pay off.
No, it doesn't.
With Sexy Sam end up getting the victory here.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Andre.
Just so many chair shots. Chair shot after chair shot. There was one where Sam was in the ropes, and Sawyer had got another chair and went to swing it, and Sam ducked back, and it bounced back and hit Sawyer in the face, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. All the chair shots in this match, it's just brutal.
I will say without a doubt, the one thing I was concerned about the most was the 2 headshots in the corner there.
Oh, Sam took? Yeah.
Yeah. Those looked absolutely brutal, and I hope that both women are okay after that matchup. Brian, your thoughts?
Oh my God, these 2 women do not like each other, and it showed tonight with them going out at each other with these chairs and the shots that they were giving each other, insane. And my God, Sexy Sam, she took 2 really hard shots to the head, and which ended up busting her open pretty good. You don't really see that with women very much getting busted open, but this time it happened, and like you said, these women, they do not hate like each other. They hate each other. And hopefully this kind of ended this feud, but who knows?
Oh, I got a feeling this feud is far from over.
I don't
I
think it's
agree
over.
with that.
I don't think it's over either. It can't be. Like, I don't see it happening.
And speaking of a new chapter, we go to our semi-main event, the tables match for the MPW Heavyweight Championship. You
you missed the Ripper match there, Mike.
the bloodshed.
The Ripper title
I
match.
know. You
skipped it.
The murder.
Yeah, you skipped it.
All right,
We gotta talk about the murder.
We could talk about the murder here, and I guess we should. For the Ripper Hardcore Championship, Massive Damage takes on Nasty Nate Nixon. Now, it was brutal. It
Bloody.
was violent. It was bloody. Both men got busted open through this match. The Cat's Meow ended up coming out and causing interference.
And again,
Massive manages to get out of it.
yeah,
Hits the Uranagi with a chair on Nasty Nate, gets that 1-2-3 and retains his championship.
Yeah.
Albeit temporarily, but we'll get to that later on here.
Well, okay, so we all know that like the Ripper is decided also in the Ripper Battle Royal, but this match was just utterly violent, like bloody. It just like after the match, I was worried about Nate and what kind of condition he was in, like especially after those sign shots, which were pretty brutal.
Well, it was bump signs, and I think those bumps were the bumps in the head of Nasty Nate there. So, Brian, your thoughts on the match?
Oh, my God. Oh, you talk about a vicious match, and this one was it. Holy crap. These guys were going at it with everything they could find, and it proved it tonight when both men ended up bloody as hell. And, well, in the end, Massive did pick up the win to retain his title, which was just crazy to see. I didn't know if he was going to keep it or not, but he did, so great for him.
Absolutely. Great effort on Nasty Nate's part. I honestly didn't expect him to do what he did out there.
Yeah.
I thought this would be a complete walkover for Massive Damage, but far be it from being that.
He held his own in this match for the most part until Massive pretty much took control, then the Cat's Meow. But still.
Absolutely. But then from there, we get to our tables match for the MPW Heavyweight Championship. Crazy Core challenging the Irishman. Where to start? How about the start?
Well,
Dean Richter sets up outside the entranceway with a kendo stick wanting to bop the head of the Irishman.
Yeah.
The Irishman comes in from the back entrance, basically where everybody's coming out.
Yeah.
Hits an IRA out of nowhere. On Richter. He hits an IRA on the floor.
Yeah.
He hit an IRA slam, which we haven't seen
Like from the
forever.
shoulders, like the fireman's carry into the IRA.
It's a TKO.
Yeah.
That's what that move is.
I just yelled super IRA in the crowd.
It was absolutely insane. But once again, the numbers game shows up, but this time it pays off. KJ Cash ends up eating an IRA on top of it as well.
Like that was just brutal.
God.
And full credit to her being able to walk out under her own power after that. I was absolutely shocked about that, but I digress.
Yeah, you digress.
Yeah. But in the end, Crazy Core manages to get a Samoan drop through the table on the Irishman and ends up winning the MPW Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, like huge win. Like these two have been like going to war for a long, long time.
It was 2 years ago when at the Ripper Royal where Crazy Core turned on the Irishman.
Yep. And so you have this it's kind of finally culminated. I don't think it's over, but you had the kind of the culmination of the feud. So like that part of the feud in Crazy Core actually dethroning the Irishman after how long has it been since he's been champion? Like well over a year.
Yeah, it's been I believe 15 months now.
15 months being a champion, and Crazy Core finally dethrones him, and in a brutal fashion because like they had to carry the Irishman out after that going through the table. Like I watched the ref carry him out, and he looked dead, like absolutely dead after that.
He gave it everything he had, but it just wasn't enough here. And Crazy Core is your new MPW Heavyweight Champion. But then after that, we went to our other main event, The Ripper Royal.
The main event.
My God. I don't know where to start.
I don't know either. There's so many things.
I know where to
see
start.
and whatnot.
There was a
It's crazy.
dildo in this match.
Folks, Maniac felt right at home there with, I believe it's called an adult entertainment material, is the way I put it. But
An adult entertainment device.
there we go. An AED.
Yeah.
But, folks, it's hard to describe how this match went. Eventually, the Cats Meow ended up getting the advantage here. It came down to Chris Parrish and Cato at the end.
Well, it came down to in the last 6 were Eddie Rude.
Nope, Eddie Rude wasn't in
Oh,
this.
sorry, not Lumberjack Larry. I apologize. Maniac and Parrish, and then the Cats Meow.
3 members of the Cats Meow.
So, and then it ended up kind of like breaking down 5 to 5 men. It just all the stuff they were doing to each other was just brutal.
Folks, I'm not going to commentate too much about it other than the fact that Cato ended up getting the victory and became the new Monster Pro Wrestling Ripper Hardcore Champion.
Not until after Psycho Sawyer came out, and she had the
Ripper title.
and she was like, Cato was going to hit her and going to hit Parrish, and Parrish kind of ducked it and super kicked Sawyer.
So knocked Sawyer out, but Parrish took advantage.
And then when Parrish turned around, Cato just knocked him out.
Yeah, it's simple as that. And now you have a new Ripper champion. Brian, your thoughts before we get to the highlights of the night?
Oh God, this match was just insane with all the weapons that there were and everybody hitting everything, throwing everybody out. Oh my God, this is what I love to see. This was one night to see this stuff, and holy crap, the weapons that the fans were bringing. My God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was insane, folks. And you're going to have to pick up the DVD, which will be available at the next Monster Pro Wrestling show.
Pick it up, $20.
Blitzkrieg on December 3rd. So, but it's time for the highlights of the night here, guys. I'll let you guys go ahead first.
Brian, you want to go ahead?
Andre, go nuts.
I'm taking it. I got to go with the triple threat. Chris Parrish winning the provincial championship. For me, that was huge. Like I said, I've been a fan of him forever. And all 3 men in this match, Cato included, they all worked a phenomenal match. But in the end, for me, it was the highlight of the night. Chris Parrish is the new provincial champion, and it doesn't get any better. It only would have got better than that if he was Ripper champion and the rest of the struggle saw the tag titles.
Brian, your highlight of the night?
My highlight, I'm going with the ladies' chair match. My God. These 2 ladies do not like each other. It showed tonight with the chair shots that they're giving each other. And this feud is far from being over. I don't know what the heck's going to take it to end it, but they got to end this feud somewhere down the line because these 2 women hate each other, and it showed tonight.
And I'm going to go with the tag team title match. My God, I was calling the match, and there was not a second of that match where there wasn't excitement, action, a whole bunch of stuff that you would not believe in there. So
that match never stopped. That's the thing. It never actually there was everything always kept going in that match.
And it's one of those matches that you don't want to stop.
No, we were enjoying it up until the end because the struggle lost their titles, but still.
All right, folks. Normally I end the show right now, but like I said, we have 2 very special announcements to give.
Announcements.
Yeah. We're going to announce the new podcast first.
Yep.
Because I have a very special guest coming up here momentarily to discuss it. But the podcast announcement. After a recent incident here in Alberta, combined with some talk about how we can enjoy, how we're so positive here, how we enjoy all this action so much here, we've decided that we're going to show you guys why. Andre, I know you're going to be handling most of it here.
Okay.
Do you want to go for it?
We're bringing up their newest podcast that'll be joining the network coming in January of 2018. It is Total Nonstop Anarchy. It will be a TNA, Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, review show. And I got to give the one where we're starting. We're actually going to start on the final night of WCW, essentially the death of WCW, which is, to me, the birth of TNA.
And from there, we're going to move on to a promotion a lot of people don't think about there, and that's the World Wrestling All-Stars, the WWA.
There's 5 pay-per-views cover in this, and the best part is, like, we'll be doing the first couple pay-per-views, but then the other, like 2 or 3 of the pay-per-views actually are during when TNA already existed.
So we're working the details out on exactly how we're going to work that out, but suffice it to say, that is what we're going to cover here. We're going to our season 1 is going to be the final Nitro through the Asylum years.
Yep.
And from there,
we don't know.
We're gonna see where this goes. We're gonna look probably the monthly pay-per-views, but you know what? Give us your thoughts on what you think.
We might have all gone insane by the end of this podcast, so we don't know because it's TNA. We might all go insane. Simple as that.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up this little section of the show here. Before I introduce our second big announcement here, which is the one that, if you guys were at the show, that's the one we were advertising. I want to thank the Wrestling Mind, Brian Hamilton.
Always a pleasure.
And Andre C.
Always happy to be here. Check me out. Instagram at That Canada Dude, Twitter at That Canada Guy.
Now, folks, second announcement, very special. Now, I've told you guys that I want to do everything I can to promote Alberta wrestling and show what Alberta wrestling is all about. I could sit here and describe it, but let's take you to this very special clip. All right, folks, you just saw it right there. MPW Madness is going to be coming out in 2018. I'm really excited to have it. And speaking of being really excited, I got the producer, videographer. If you've been to the CWC, PPW, and MPW shows, you've seen him running around with a camera, and you've probably been trying to throw eggs and tomatoes at him. But Mark Pontarollo, Pontarollo Productions, thanks for joining me here.
Glad to be here, Mike. Thanks for asking me.
It's great having you here. Sorry, my headphone's getting a little exploded here. So, Mark, you've been really pushing to get MPW Madness off the floor here right now. Give us your thoughts on what Madness is going to be.
Oh, wow. Where to start? Well, basically, long story short, Madness is going to pick up where previous things have gone. The previous
MPW Dynamite in particular.
Dynamite and the previous versions of Madness. We're basically going to do our version of it, though. We're going forward from that. We're learning from all of that. And we're going to bring you more with all the current superstars from MPW.
Yeah, and it's essentially it's going to take off from where Dynamite left. Our first 2 shows that are going to be up, they're going to be free on YouTube for everybody to see, are going to be from the Blitzkrieg show from last year, featuring the 6-way for the MPW title. Basically, it's an Edmonton SPN creation, so I want to guarantee that every year that we have it up for everybody to see. Essentially, it's a great wrap-up to show you who won what during the year, as all the winners of all the major events are included in that match. On top of that, we're going to have some vintage matches here. I'm shocked that I actually was going through some old material in my hard drives. I found some stuff you guys are going to be very interested in, from Riptribution 5, Riptribution 6.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I definitely know you're going to be interested. Some names I'm going to throw out there for you.
Looking forward to it.
Phil LaFawn is going to be a part of it. Also, the Beast Dan Severin. I have video footage of him involved in here as well.
Yes.
And for those that want a WWF old school fling to it, We got the honky tonk man involved as well. So
No way. You're kidding me. Himself?
I guess I didn't tell you of everything that I have on my. Folks, trust me.
He's keeping secrets from me. You guys are going to be excited.
Well, he's producing it, but I'm editing it, so he's going to get a few surprises up here. Details.
I like
on,
that.
Details on what you're going to see are going to be coming up in the next few weeks to a month here. We got a lot of announcements coming up, like you heard earlier in the show about Total Nonstop Anarchy. We got that coming up. But Mark, I want to thank you for joining me here for this Quick Calls, because this is a very special show. Thanks for joining me here.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure. Like you say, onward and upward, and may the madness be with you.
Okay. Our next Quick Calls
To
episode.
coin a phrase.
Our next Quick Calls episode, I might have a bonus one coming up in a couple weeks, but I will guarantee you that our next hard lock big announcement for Edmonton SPN is going to be coming from our Quick Calls show from the PWA Christmas Slam show from the Northgate Line Senior Center, with the rematch between ROH World Champion Cody Rhodes and God's Gift of Wrestling Michael Richard Blaze. That's going to be a fantastic match, and folks, trust me, things are going to be big time for Edmonton SPN coming up following that announcement on the 25th. We're going to have another Quick Calls. I know you're going to be down filming the CWC Kingdom Come show from the Festival Hall in Red Deer.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
And folks that watched the last Quick Calls, we had Jamie Miller, who graciously joined me for that show. He's volunteered to do an audio Quick Calls. Maybe Mark will jump in and give him a hand here, but anything's possible when it comes to Quick Calls, folks. But we're going to wrap this up here, folks. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Mark, where can people get a hold of you if they want to get some film work done?
Hey, on Facebook, I'm PONTAROLLO Productions. I have my own website, PONTAROLLOProductions.com. So you can find me. I don't hide.
Yeah, and folks, I could give you the original material here, but check it all out in the show notes here. It's Mike the Ref, at Mike the Ref on Twitter. Thank you once again, and just remember, folks, if you're going to make a good call, make a quick call. And this has been Quick Calls from the Alberta Avenue Hall with Monster Pro Wrestling Riptribution 10 here on the Edmonton Sports Podcast Network.
This has been Quick Calls with Mike the Ref on the Edmonton Sports Podcast Network. Contact us on Facebook or check out edmontonspn.podbean.com.